Hey everyone, Michelle here and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my November TBR video. October, this is a spoiler for my October wrap up which will be coming up in the next week. I didn't manage to read all 13 books. There was 2 that I didn't read, which I was surprised by, that I actually only had 2 left over, but I will go over that in the wrap-up video. So on to November's TBR. So like September and October, in November I have a birthday that is really special to me, and that is my one and only nephew. So he turned 8 this month. I say turned because his birthday was a couple of days ago, so it's already been and gone. So yeah, he turned 8. Again, like with my nieces, I asked him to pick 4 numbers for me, which he did. I can't remember the numbers, sorry, but I did pick the books out straight away. So I will stop my rambling like normal, go through my November TBR, and then tell you all about this sheet of paper behind me. Ooh. So here are the 4 books my nephew picked for me, and I will go through them one by one. The first book my nephew picked for me was He Started It by Samantha Downing. In this book you have 3 siblings whose grandfather has just died, and for them to inherit, in his will it says they need to do the same road trip they did with him when they were younger, only now they're older. As they are doing this road trip, they find out there are secrets that they weren't aware of, and that maybe some of the things they remembered aren't actually what they remembered. So very much a kind of mystery book, pretty appropriate for this time of year. You will notice there is a shine. That is because I've had to put my light on because it looks like Evil Dead outside because it's just fog, so apologies for that. Book number 1 chosen by the nephew. Book number 2 he picked was The Stolen Sisters by Louise Jensen, and yes, I have already started this book. In this book you follow 3 sisters, Carly, Marie and Leah, on the 20th anniversary of their kidnapping, and you read what's happening to them now on the anniversary, and you also read what happened when they were kidnapped, how they were kidnapped and how they got out of it. It's okay so far. If I'm being honest, one of the side plots kind of caught my attention more than the plot in the current day, which isn't normally a good sign, so I'll carry on with it. The third book my nephew picked out was The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. I'll be honest, I haven't summed up this blurb because I've kind of forgotten a little bit about it. So I'm going to read you the first paragraph because I think the first paragraph is what caught my attention. And yeah, so a captivating novel of money, beauty, crime and moral compromise, in which a woman disappears from a container ship off the coast of Mauritania, and a massive Ponzi scheme implodes in New York, dragging countless fortunes with it. I've never read a book about a Ponzi scheme, so I'm kind of intrigued to see how it all fits together, and I'll be honest, that was part of the blurb that caught my attention when I pre-ordered it, so looking forward to it. Emily has also read Station 11, which is a book that I know a couple of people on Bookstagram have read, and apparently there's some characters from that book that come up in this one, but it's not a sequel, so you don't need to read that one, which I'm quite glad about. So if I enjoy this one, I may go back and read Station 11. And the 4th book my nephew picked was A Double Life by Charlotte Philby. I can't remember what the blurb of this book is. I pre-ordered it and it came in June, and it's been sat on my shelf because it looks quite thick. I've been like, I'm not going to pick it up this month, I'm not going to pick it up this month. And then it was picked for me this month. So here is the blurb. Gabriella, a senior negotiator in the FCO's counter-terrorism unit, runs a small and powerful team based in Whitehall. She is tenacious, hard-working and the family breadwinner. Her partner Tom, a freelance architect, looks after their 2 small children. When Gabriella returns from a 7-month stint in Moscow, something doesn't seem right. Isabel is a journalist working for the local paper in Camden. Walking home from a party one night, she witnesses a horrific attack. But someone has seen her and is making themselves known in an increasingly frightening ways. As Isabel starts to investigate, she uncovers a dark network of human trafficking and exploitation. While Gabriella's life begins to unravel, Isabel gets closer to the story, with one determined to uncover the truth and the other desperate to hide it. The 2 women's lives converge. So again, very apt to read at this time of year. So yeah, looks really thick. I'll be honest, when I got it, I was like, is this like 600 pages or something? No, 452. So it looks a lot bigger than I think actually is, but I'm quite looking forward to diving into it. Before I go away, good picks, dude. Now on to the 4 books that I picked. So this month, there's no random number generator, there's no close my eyes and pick. There were 4 books that I desperately wanted to read this month. And no, little Miss Addie isn't one of the 4, she was number 5. So the first book I picked for myself this month was Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco. I have been looking forward to this book ever since it was announced. And then I realised Waterstones was selling it. So people might be surprised, like, Michelle, why was that so important? I couldn't buy Stalking Jack the Ripper from Waterstones, and every time I tried to buy it off Foyles, it wasn't on there. I forgot I had a book depository account, so I bought off Amazon. I thought I would have to wait until after the release date to buy this book. So when I realised Waterstones had it on sale, I have now realised they also sell Stalking Jack the Ripper. So if anyone wants that series, go buy it, get points. This weekend, double points. Every 10 points you get 10 on your card. I don't buy lots of books for points, but yes, anyway. So in this book, you follow Amelia in an Italian town. I forget the name of it, even though I've already read this book. And her twin sister Vittoria. One night her twin dies and Vittoria finds her body in a monastery with her heart ripped out and a guy dipping his finger in and licking her blood. Vittoria's family are witches, and you follow her investigation to find out her sister's killer. Right near the start, you also realise that Vittoria summoned a demon. So, to find the killer, Amelia summons a demon. Guess who turns up? Yes, a guy who licked the blood. His name is Wrath. As a 27-year-old woman, I shouldn't admit this, but Wrath made my heart beat a little bit faster. So like I said, I've already read this book, so I'm not going to spoil it in this video. But if you haven't read this book, read it. Read it, read it, read it, read it, read it. Please. The second book I picked was Strangers by C.L. Taylor. I haven't read this book yet, but I'm so looking forward to it. So in this book, you follow 3 strangers who have 2 secrets between them, and there's one unforgettable night. Literally, that's all it says on the blurb. Pause and read if you can. All it says on the blurb. So yes, really looking forward to this. C.L. Taylor or Callie. is one of my go-to favourite authors. All I hear is she has a book out and it's pre-ordered. I know a lot of people have already read this book because it's been out in hardback. However, I bought all her other books in paperback, and I hate it when you have authors together, like an author's work, and if one book is different from the rest, it irks me. I'm actually really annoyed because of my Percy Jackson series books. So the Percy Jackson series in paperback, all the 2 other series that have come out afterwards have been hardback. So when I finally get shelves up, you know this girl's going to be buying the whole Percy Jackson series in hardback. But anyway, on to Callie. So yes, really looking forward to reading this book. The 3rd book I picked, and the book that is most likely going to break my heart because it's the last book in a world that I've loved, is The Tower of Nero, The Trials of Apollo, Book 5 by Readathon, and this is the last book in the Percy Jackson world. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, Michelle, why is that upsetting? Percy came into my life at a time when I wasn't loving reading. So the way I see it is Harry started my love of reading. Percy and Rick made sure I kept loving it. Yeah, so as it's the 5th and final book, I'm not going to tell you what happens in this book because I don't want to spoil it, I'll be honest, and you kind of need to read the first 4 to read this one. But I will tell you it's about Greek mythology and Apollo, who was a bit naughty, and Zeus kicked him into a teenager's body in the first book, and he doesn't have his powers, and there's adventure. Yeah, so if you want to read a book by Rick, start with the first Percy Jackson series. Yes, is it middle? It's not YA, but it's not middle grade, it's like in the middle, but I love it. So yes, this will be book number 4 read, because I need to see how this series ends, and I need to get my heart broken realising this is the last book in this world at the moment. But I'm happy knowing that Rick is involved so closely in the Disney Plus series of Percy Jackson. The 4th and final book I picked was A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. This is the Illumicrate edition. Someone told me, when I really heard about this book, I wasn't interested, I'll be honest, because I never read any of Naomi's other work. Then I got it in Illumicrate, and I thought, oh, well, I'll put it on the TBR pile. And then one of my friends messaged me saying how she liked it. And yeah, she wanted to know what I thought of it. So I thought, you know what, I'll pop it on the Novembers TBR so I can read it and tell her what I think about it. I know there's some parts of this that are controversial. Do I have any other thoughts? No, so I will read you the blurb. So, enter a school of magic unlike any you have ever encountered. There are no teachers, no holidays, friendships are purely strategic, and the odds of survival are never equal. Once you're inside, there are only 2 ways to make it out. You graduate, or you die. Elle Higgins is uniquely prepared for the school's many dangers. She may be without allies, but she possesses a dark power strong enough to level mountains and wipe out untold millions. Never mind easily destroy the countless monsters that prowl the school. Except she might accidentally kill all the other students too. So Elle is trying her hardest not to use it. That is, unless she has no other choice. Yeah, I'm getting Harry Potter vibes. I'm getting maybe vibes of the Shadowhunters. So yeah, I want to read it this month, but it's not high up on my list. So now I've told you the 8 books that I want to read. Let me tell you about this colourful piece of paper. So I was watching a TBR video from Becca at Becca and the Books. I will link her video down below. She is amazing, go watch. In that video she mentioned a readathon in November and December called Clear Your Shit Readathon. And in this readathon, it's like a story. So a wizard invites you to a town or kingdom, that is getting crushed by books, and you are to help save it. There is a sassy narrator who everyone is scared of. I love her. I will link the announcement video down below, and I will link their Twitter page too, because the narrator is in charge of the Twitter page and I keep laughing my little arse off when I read their tweets. In Saving the Kingdom, there are 24 quests that you need to do to beat the books falling down. So you may think, 24 books in a month? Michelle, you struggled with 13. As I said, it runs from November to December. So the readathon is from the 1st of November to the 27th of December. And as someone who needs to clear her shelves because she has books from Christmas, she knows this. And I don't want to start 2021 with 30 odd books on my shelves that I haven't read from this year. So the quests are, yes, you can hear her now. Hi. So I have the quests on electronic picture, but because I kept forgetting about them, I've also wrote them on a piece of paper and slapped it to my wardrobe. So each week you are meant to read 3 of the quests in, you can go in order to follow the story. That's really fun. You read, like I said, you can follow them in order to do the story, but I don't. I'm just reading as and when. So I'll put a picture of the electronic ones up after this. Well, here. But on my paper one, I've wrote them out and here they are. So you have the shortest book on your TBR, the one on the shelf the longest, found families, a book with an animal, intimidating book, scary book, free choice, so any book I want, fantasy, oh there you are, fantasy, most expensive book, pretty cover, magical book, a book with blue or water theme, a character you want to fight, recommended or gifted, a book you don't remember, free choice, a book with map, the oldest publication, pre-order, shiny cover or magical object, free choice, mini battle, final boss battle. So like I said, I am not going in quest order, I'm just ticking off as I read. Very flexible with the prompts. I mean, like, book with an animal, I just put Ray Bearer because it's got animals on the front. So yeah, you can double up on these prompts, it's literally up to you, it's so flexible. Like I said, I'll link the announcement video down below that has so many links that are so much better than I am explaining all this. But yeah, really looking forward to doing this readathon. Like I said, I just need to get all the books off my shelf, so it's going to be great. So here are all 8 books that I want to read. So yeah, like I said, I've already read Kingdom of the Wicked. I'm started The Stolen Sisters, so I'm hoping I'll be able to read all 8 books. I think it's going to determine on my mood, which isn't good because my mood's a bit crap at the moment. So yes, but if I do manage to read all 8 books, I'll be reading Addy, and if I manage to read Addy and I still have time, I'll pick up one of the books I didn't read last month. Yeah, so that's it for my TBR and the readathon. I may give you an update every 2 weeks on how the readathon's going, but you'll see it in my background and I'm going to scratch off as I've read books, so you'll know as well. So until next time, which will most likely be Wednesday, because I have my wrap up filmed, I just don't know publish it before this one's out. So yeah, until then, if it's not Wednesday, it'll be Sunday. I will see you later. Bye everyone.